Now, immediately after the conviction of former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina by the country's International Crimes Tribunal, Bangladesh has demanded the extradition of the former Prime Minister, citing an extradition treaty that exists with India. However, this is unlikely to happen, and here's why. Now, Bangladesh, of course, tried former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for alleged crimes against humanity. It was, of course, a trial that happened in her absence. The Sheikh Hasina side and the Bangladesh Awami League, which is her party, has said that this is a sham trial. They've called it a kangaroo court. They say there was a predetermined verdict. They said they were all played out to a script. All of these things, allegations about the trial, the legal validity of the trial, all of those things have been questioned. But here's why Bangladesh's extradition request is misplaced and seems more like a knee-jerk reaction to score political points back home rather than actually follow a legal diplomatic process. Now, there are multiple issues. India has fought its own battles when it comes to extradition. For example, if you remember, we've had to get gangsters extradited and we've had to say there will be no death penalty simply to have that extradition done. Now, there might be an extradition treaty, there might not be one, but for somebody like a Mohammad Yunus, who often has referred to Western values of democracy, of Western powers, sort of all looking at democracy in Bangladesh and calling it a fascist state, perhaps this is an important reminder. Now, obviously, Bangladesh has said they want Sheikh Hasina extradited, and they say that if any country gives shelter to these individuals convicted of crimes against humanity, it will be an extremely intolerant act and a disregard for justice. They say we appeal to the government of India to immediately hand over these two convicted individuals to Bangladesh authorities. According to the extradition treaty existing between the two countries, this is also an obligatory duty for India. That's what Bangladesh says. However, while India quite clear on the position it holds on Sheikh Hasina, and this has been enumerated multiple times, here's why it's unlikely to happen. And A is because most countries, even with the existence of a treaty, need extradition requests to take place. If in a government's opinion, the suspect is being sought for a political crime, it's likely to deny an extradition request. And here, it's quite clear that while she's been tried for crimes against humanity, this was a government in power that was trying to quell a violent revolution. In fact, it's on record that the mob that attacked Sheikh Hasina's home minutes after she left was there with an intent to kill her. And these mobs had gone violent during those protests. And this was a state trying to quell law and order situations. And therefore, that argument that this was a political crime is something that is very, very valid as far as Sheikh Hasina's case is concerned. Secondly, one of the things that, of course, is also there is that many countries such as Mexico, Canada, European nations, some of them, will not allow an extradition treaty if the death penalty may be imposed on the suspect or the convict unless they're assured that the death sentence will not be passed or carried out. Can Bangladesh give such an assurance? Of course not. They've already given a death sentence. They have full intention to carry it out. And of course, in the case of Soring versus the United Kingdom, the European Court of Human Rights held that it would violate Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights to extradite a person to the United States from the United Kingdom in a capital case. So, again, this is very, very clear. The two countries have an extradition treaty, but this is more like internal settling of political scores. This is not a proper legal follow-up. And even if there is one, the case that Bangladesh is making, at least for now, seems extremely weak when it comes to an extradition request. For more such videos, stay tuned to NDTV's YouTube platform, where we bring you the news with context and go beyond the headline. For all the latest news updates from India, the neighborhood, and across the world, stay tuned to NDTV. Thank you so much for watching.